Hey everybody, it's Kneecap here, and in this video we finally have some news about the puzzling Cartel Chips and when they're going to be coming out. We also have some other news as well, but we will lead with the Cartel Chips, but this is also going to cover some weird extension of the Mythic track and the Heroic track, some delve improvements, profession update, but let's go through these things real quick. Let's start with the Cartel Chips. So take up a new weekly quest to defeat 4 raid bosses from Liberation of Undermine and earn 1 puzzling cartel chip per week with a maximum of 6 per character. Now we're going to turn these in 3 at a time. So this is 2 items. Now I'll make a video specifically, probably closer to when this comes out, of what you should probably be targeting. But if you have killed the boss on Mythic, right, then it'll be the best in slots. And then also if you've already gotten a cutting edge by that time, or Hall of Fame, or whatever, wherever we're at this point, then Jaster's Diamond on Mythic as well would be kind of the 2 things you're going to be going for there. And that's, going to be similar in other classes. It'll be like a cantrip and then like a Jaster's Diamond. It's very rare loot from the raid that's hard to get. So that'll be kind of where we are there. I think they have the date on this. It's like May 21st. It's around the time when the Horrific Visions also come out. So it'll be next month, about a month from now, when this happens. Let's talk next about this extension thing, because I don't know exactly what this means. So during the event, Hero and Myth upgrade tracks will extend 2 upgrades. So basically you can upgrade, instead of the max item level you can have is going to go up a bit, apparently, based on this. Myth upgrade tracks are increased. Now, is this during the event? Does that mean it goes back down randomly? Does that mean only gear that you loot during this event and then you have to re-gear your entire character during the event? I'm not sure with the wording of this, what it means. I think the most likely thing is that the track just extends for the rest of the patch, would be my guess. The event is just the rest of the patch. I think that's probably the most likely thing, but it is worded very weirdly and not exactly, and I don't think anyone really knew this was coming either. So yeah, that's very interesting. Now also, crests are the cap for crests is going to be gone, so you can just farm up your crests, which is really good. No crests capped, and Valor Stones become warbound for the remainder of the season. So now even just doing random stuff on alts that gains you Valor Stones, you can probably start in just a little trick here. You could probably just max out your Valor Stones on all your alts if you play on your alts. That way you could just send your Valor Stones to your main character or whatever you want to do there. And Mythic Plus drop rates for Warband until equipped loot are also being doubled. So Mythic Plus, I mean, I've only gotten a couple Warbound things from Mythic Plus, so the drop rate for that is going to go up, so you can help gear your alts that way as well. So that's actually really good. So some really good stuff here, with a bit of a confusing thing, at least to me, with the extension of the Hero and Myth track. So instead of being 6 out of 6, it'll be 8 out of 8, or if it changes your gear, you'll be 6 out of 8 and can upgrade 2 more times. Which, again, I think that what that's going to do, it's just my guess, is all the gear for the rest of the patch is just going to be like that, and they're probably testing it out basically to see maybe this could be a way to increase your power even a bit more beyond even like what the Race to World First and stuff will be using, and also a way to keep the Mythic Plus season going a little bit further, as well as, if they're going to continue to do this, basically we're going to give 2 more, a little bit way to upgrade your gear halfway through the season, basically. Is kind of what I see this as a vision. We already talked about that. The raid gear vendor, you turn in the cartel chips. That's just talking about that. Obviously, it's for Liberation of Undermine gear. This isn't for Mythic Plus. I know some people wanted it for Mythic Plus, but the cartel chips are for the casino. Delve improvements, they basically just improve the rewards from the Delver's Bounty, more journey progress, more experience for Brand. Brand's very hard to level up. I've done quite a few delves. It's hard to level up. You earn more crests, Valor Stones, and an increase in repeatable earnable crests across all delve tiers. So delves better. For me, that's great. I do a lot of delving, especially on my alt characters. And profession updates, recipes crafted with Sparks of Fortune can now be further recrafted or crafted with an augmentation matrix, empowering the item level, 6 item levels. This is just basically to go on with this crest thing. So your myth, so let's say your myth item is 678 or whatever we're at. I guess I can look real quick. We don't need this anymore. What's mythic? 678. Yeah, 678. So that's now going to be going up to, I imagine, like 684 or something like that, right? Which means that your crafted items are going to be weaker. But instead, you can use these matrices, and I assume, hopefully, they're cheap to get or something like that. And you can recraft your gear up. So the 675 belt will turn to a 681 belt, right? So you can essentially, I imagine, kind of do that immediately when this goes live. So anything you have crafted already with a spark, any spark piece can immediately be upgraded, I would imagine, based on that. So that's kind of information that's kind of like interesting too. If you wanted to like really game the system there, you could in theory have make sure you have something crafted with each of your sparks, even if you're not wearing it currently. And then immediately, assuming these matrices are like something you can buy from the vendor or something for like a gold or 10 gold or something, you could then upgrade all those immediately by getting them recrafted and kind of gain some item level that way. That is something you could do in theory if you wanted to min-max it or be really, really sweaty with it. So overall, really good changes. One thing I could see maybe people being angry about would be the cartel chips, the donars from the past. How you have to defeat the raid boss to get the loot, because in the past that wasn't the case. You could actually just get the loot without having defeated the boss because you just upgraded it with crest. You've got it at like normal raid level and you just had to upgrade it with crest all the way up. And instead you have to defeat the boss now. So for a lot of people, the loot you want's on the final bosses, and if you're still progressing, like my guild, we haven't killed One Arm Bandit yet. We're on like Sprocketmonger. We had like a 40% pull or 30% pull, so we still have a little ways to go on Sprocketmonger. Then we're gonna have to get through One Arm Bandit, and then I could get the mythic best in slots weapon. So it's going to be a little bit while for me. However, it'll probably be actually close to when the cartel chips come out, to be completely honest, or we might even have it down by then. So I guess it's not that bad because it's still a month away. So yeah, I mean, overall great though. If you're only a heroic raider, you'll at least have access to that heroic best in slots. You'll have access to the heroic Jaster's Diamond, but obviously don't buy those unless you are not a mythic raider, right? If you're never going to kill it on mythic, then so be it. But you'll at least have access to it. The heroic Jasters will definitely be good, even like a mythic plus, but the best in slots is not, the heroic best in slots is not really better than a myth track weapon. So with other than a myth track best in slots. So for the second one, you might actually use that on something else from the raid, a trinket, maybe a house of cards or something like that at this new maxed out item level. But something else from the raid would probably be used instead of the best in slots if you only have access to the heroic version of it. But we'll talk more about that as we get closer to it for the Rat Paladin stuff specifically. But I just kind of wanted to go over all the news here. When we finally, again, I believe it's May. It was in there somewhere, but it's May 20th, maybe? May 20th? Somewhere around there. May 20th, May 21st. Around the time Horrific Visions come out is when this is going to come out. Or maybe it was May 12th. Was that? Maybe that... No, 12th wouldn't make sense unless it happens on a random day. Either way, there's Dastardly Duos too. So either way, it'll be coming out next month, and I will have videos on it as it comes out and explaining things more. So that's it for this one, guys. As always, I do ask you to please subscribe to the channel. It helps me out a lot. If you're already a subscriber, I encourage you to check out the Patreon. And other than that, everybody, have a good one.